Howdy folks, Little John. Tasting day on the Isolation Ale IPA. That's it there. It's a bit thick. It's foggy. Nice nose of fruit there. This fella was brewed back on the 5th of April. Single malt Maris Otter, 100% Maris, to 1058 starting gravity, 14 litre batch, all hops from 20 minutes onwards. Columbus, Centennial, Simcoe, Citra and Galaxy, prior to flameout. The Galaxy was actually a flameout edition, and then Citra, more Citra as a whirlpool, then Dorado at day 3 for 4 days, and Mosaic at day 7. At that point the Dorado was taken out. The Mosaic sat for another 4 days and it was taken out. Then cold crashed. It's fermented with USO 5. Just did a small starter. It sat on the bench here in the garage at ambient, so it sat around 20 to 22 degrees during that time. In the fridge for a 3-day cold crash. Bottled on the 19th, which was 14 days from brew day, which was 6 days ago from today. It went on the fridge. It got a 28 psi for 24 hours initially, and it's been sitting on 12 psi since. I've done 1 keg, did 8 bottles. As you saw, this glass is poured off the keg. It's the first one off the keg. I can't really see how well it is carved. We'll soon find out. Not a lot of action going on there, so I can't really tell, but there was a bit of head. Finished at 10:18. I was aiming for 10:15, so I've ended up with 5.4% on the keg. I said we were looking for an American IPA, so hadn't brewed one for a while, so this is her. So a little bit of, it's not haze, it's just not real clear. It's a little bit of light fruit on the nose. Some nice fruit there, not a massive amount. Again, so that's 6 days. I certainly say, I always say IPAs need 3 weeks to reach their best. So for me, this certainly is not at a point where I think it's going to be at its best. Tasting today is more about judging this, because this was Recipe of the Month beer for the Patreons. So then this is the first of the new method with that, which meant I'm actually going to taste the recipe, brew the recipe, taste it, and then adjust and publish that as a recipe to the Patreons. So if you watch the original video, if you remember watching it, I haven't divulged the full recipe where I normally would. I think that's for the Patreon, the privilege of the Patreons. So today was just about trying it and seeing what we think and what adjustments I need to make the recipe before giving it out to those guys. Seems to be a nice malt there. A little bit of grass from the hops, and again, this is why I like to let IPA sit for 3 weeks, let that grassy note disappear, let the actual real flavour of the hops come through. Full flavour's not overly there. It's probably lacking a little bit in bitterness. And there's some there. It's a nice amount, but it's not. No. I think if that vegetative edge when it comes off and it becomes more fruity, I think that bitterness will become a little bit more. It will be a bit bolder. It will stand out a little bit more. I think just at the moment, it's just as it's starting to develop on your plate, the grassiness kicks in, and then the fruit comes after the grassiness. I think that grassiness will fade away over the coming weeks, and that bitterness will become separate to the follow-up hop flavours. So I think there'll be that distinction where at the moment it's sort of just as the bitterness is starting to really come into effect, it's dragged away. I think it will snap out there and it will sit on its own, and then the hop effect will come in behind that a little bit more. So I think that will work. I think from the alcohol ABV perspective, probably could bump up the alcohol a little bit, which would mean bringing up the original gravity. I really thought this would have finished a little bit lower than what it did, and I'm not convinced that the initial starter I had wasn't as big as it could have been. I would have preferred it to have been a little bit bigger. I wasn't super happy with the size of the starter that I pitched. I would have liked it a little bit bigger. So I don't know for sure whether that's kept that final gravity a little bit higher. Like I said, it finished at 10.18. I was hoping to finish at 10.15, and it should have, given it there's no crystal malts in there. I would have thought it would have come down a little bit lower. I mashed it. I've got here 65. I've got a funny feeling it may have been 66 on the day. So that's possibly had a little bit of an effect. It has kept a little bit higher. So yeah, I think pushing it, maybe the initial gravity to 1060, 1061, 1062, just to push that up a little bit more wouldn't hurt. The other thing you could possibly look at would be to throw in a couple of hundred, 200 or 300 grams of dextrose, just to boost that alcohol a little bit and to give a little bit extra fermentable, to bring it down a little bit. 200, you could get the 1060, and drop an extra point or two on the gravity, get to your 5.8, 5.9% that way. But again, until that grassiness sort of goes and the whole range settles, I can't really say for sure exactly where that full body is sitting. But I think it wouldn't hurt a little bit, just a little bit of dryness. Sitting as it is, it's definitely more pale ale than IPA. Not pushing. There's not enough hop there to push into that IPA range. And that doesn't surprise me. I sort of thought that may have been where it might have ended up at. So I'd definitely be pushing more hop to push it a little bit higher. Not a lot Bitterness, the calculated bitterness on the boil hops was 32. And I had commented on the original video that I dropped that down from the original brew this was based on, which was more like a 40-42 IBU. I think that would probably work a little bit better. So I think pushing up a little bit higher certainly would help. But I will adjust that on the recipe. And a little bit higher, more weight, more volume of hops on the flameout, the whirlpool, and on the dry hop as well. Dry hop was 3.6 grams a litre. Push it up. You can probably double that without too much trouble. But overall, as the beer stands, 6 days in the keg, it's working. It's definitely a good base to work from, and I think, like I said, I think 3 weeks from now, it's going to be a very enjoyable pale ale. So just working out now whether to push it into IPA territory or whether to just stick with this, where it is pale ale, and just fine tune a little bit. But you guys, Patreons, you'll find out in the next couple of days which way I go on that. So keep your eyes out, that'll be coming shortly. So if you guys that aren't Patrons, I'll post the original recipe down the bottom as it is. So as always, if you've got any questions, any comments, stick them down the bottom, ask away. Always happy to answer questions. If you're interested in becoming a patron, or want to know what it's about, hit the link down the bottom. Have a look, check it out, see what's involved, whether it's for you. It's definitely not for everybody, that's no problem. If you aren't someone who's wanting to take that track, hit the subscribe button. Get a notification when new videos are out, when there's something new going on, we're brewing a new beer, or we're playing around, we're doing experiments. Whatever we're doing, there's always something going on with Little John's. So that's me for the day. Isolation ale, is it a success? At the moment, I say yes. Does it need a little bit longer? Yes, it does, but that's my normal theory. 3 weeks minimum to let the beer settle and let those hop flavours do their thing. But that's me for today. So till I see you again, we're brewing beer, we're talking beer, we're drinking beer. Good brewing.